So in today's video, we're going to go through my Vegito leader deck profile, the one that I used to get 14th in the Pasadena regionals. First time in LA, by the way. Amazing to meet everyone in finals. I'm back in Australia here. And yeah, we're going to go through this. This deck has gone through a lot of iterations, so it is never perfect. And I'm actually into a different profile here. So what you're going to be looking at is not even my finals list. And then what I'm going to show you is not even the list that I'm going to be using moving forward. So yeah, right now it's not very perfect. Vegito is a very RNG leader when you have to mill 10 on Awaken. But you look at it like this. You mill 10, if they're all recyclable cards, you just search the top 10 cards of your deck. That's how I look at it at the end of the day. And then you get the 40,000 swing, which is pretty good. But that is, of course, if you don't mill your super combos and whatnot, but everything else is recyclable. So yeah, this is the energy marker that I'm using right now. Shout outs to Waffles for sending this through from the Bandai Card Fest in Japan, or the One Piece Worlds, whatever you want to say. So the English version will come out, I think, like July or something, very late. But anyway, let's get into it. We'll chuck the leader at the top. Starting off with the engine that I am running here, and that is the Double Strike engine with the CU. For this Pasadena regional, we went with only one CU. At the end of the day, it is not the only win condition for Vegito, so I went with this to 1. But honestly, I would love to see this at 2 at some points in some of my matches here. I'm just to hopefully find it, because you can end game so much quicker. Of course, if you play the grind out game, it doesn't really matter too much, but seeing this at 2 would be great. I like this card, right? It's just very cloggy. This whole system is very cloggy because you can't really play any of these cards here at the early game. So you really have to ditch these away. And yeah, that's the fundamental problem with this whole system. Because for a double strike, you need to run 9 cards. That's worse than Ribriant in Top Crew. So got 1 CU, 2 Candy Vegitos to recycle if you mill, 3 Vegetas. Vegeta is actually really good. You can recycle a lot of the 3-cost cards that isn't necessarily needed for your double strikes, like Sickle, another CU, if you need to just bottom deck. Like, at the end of the day, this is just Absolute Lightning, which actually does come in handy. But I don't think Blue actually really needs to run Absolute Lightning to begin with. But it does come in handy when there's no way out, and you can just play this into this for 5 energy and just bottom deck a 6-cost or even a Brawly or something like that. Not the most efficient thing, but whatever. 2 of the Gokus. This is your double striker at the end of the day. And then 1 of the vanilla Gokus. So this can just be picked up from the Candy Vegito or the Vegeta if you just need an extra 10k combo. Whether that is because the opponent would like to go down to 1 because they actually respect this system. Or you just need it to protect, I guess, because you can swing with this. And then you get plus an extra 10k in your hand. I like this system because nobody really understands at this point in time like how high this actually goes for the small amount of energy that there is. So when they go down to 2 thinking that they can protect, I mean, you saw in my finals, it actually can go really high. And yeah, that's my double strike system here. This all can be replaced with just 2 cards, which is double strike Vegeta. All right, now moving on to the remaining of the deck here. It's blue, so you got to run 4 Pilafs. Oh, there you go. I mean, if you're not running 4 Pilafs, you're not playing blue, right? And people keep saying, ban this, ban that. But honestly, if this is gone, this whole deck's gone. I would never run blue. The only blue I would run is Halo Q. And that was the real problem. None of these guys. None of these guys were not the real problem. Halo Q is the real problem. Of course, you got to have the 4 super combos, like... you could probably take these out low-key just to feel less bad when you mill it. No, I'm kidding. And then we go into our 1 drops here, which is for Zamasus. This is the Halo Q counter. Halo Q doesn't exist. You can drop this down to 2 or even 3. And then we have 4 Pans. You want to see this girl in turn 1. Because you see this. Any of these cards here, they're just easy discards. You can pick them up later. And you feel good about yourself. And then you increase, of course, your drop. This is the only way to really accelerate your drop size without having to tank all the hits. Play 2 of these and you're pretty much almost there at the 6 energy mark, essentially. So I found like that's all you need. Although this is a 57 card deck, which is... It means it's... that's also another problem that I have with this 57 card deck. means that I feel like I have like a 95% mulligan rate. So that's the only thing I hate about it. It's just the early game. It's just you have to see what you have to see. And then if you don't see it, you have to somehow play around with it. We got also 4 cantrips. Got to get that draw power in. And then 2 Marins. You can mix and match them if you want. Doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. Of course, Marin is technically better, but sometimes there are points where you do have more than 8 cards in your hand. You have 9. You understood draw. 3 Videls. You can... Ideally, you want 4, but we're so stuck in the amount of cards we have. Like, I didn't want to go to 60. 57 was max for me. Like, if I went any more, I just couldn't handle with it. Luckily, my new iteration I went down to 55, because if we take all of this out, you know, you get freed up so much extra space, and mulligan rate is a lot less. 1 Vegito. This is your 4-cost bounce. Say you're versing black. Of course, this comes later into the Angel Coup, even the Boo matchup, although any good Boo would not let you allow to play that, or give you time to play that to begin with. 3 of the Gohans, the OP bottom deck 2, 3 costs. Yeah, I mean, it is your ideal turn 4 play, energy 4 play, most of the time, unless your enemy has bricked somehow, some way. And then we have 3 of our Vegitos. OP card. Double 30k swing is always just amazing. And the bounce back. You want to see this. This is what I really wanted to see versus Boo. So I had to up it up. In the worlds, I ran 2. You want to see this to bounce back the Kid Boo just for that temporary moment. 2 Goku Blacks. It picks up, if you can pick up Candy Vegito and recycle this whole system. You can pick up the 4 cost here to counteract some of the board. If you have enough energy, you can pick up Goku and then play an extra for free, essentially. A lot of different plays you can do with this, but ideally, at this situation, I'm always playing this or this majority of the time. There's no way they don't have a board. Speaking of board, this is how you get rid of it. 3 Zeno. You need to see at least 1 per game, I think, just to have that back, just have that out, because this is a slower deck, which means that if you don't control the board, this is the only way out before it gets too hectic. And that includes 3 Sickle. 3 is the special number. 4 is too cloggy. 2 is too little. You want to, maybe 3 is like where you want to seeing it at. Just to see it 1 time. This is why I like the system, right? In other systems, you only see 1, for example. And then later down the line, you might need it back. And this is where Vegeta comes in, which is what I really like about it. I wish I could make this work, but it just doesn't feel right anymore. Shout outs to TK Top. We were just testing out, trying to make this Vegito work. I wish he talked to me pre-hand about the Vegito, and we could have like changed it up a list before I submitted my deck, but it's whatever. Galactic Donut. I love this card. It is just a cheap way out if you don't have this card to block a 5-drop. 6 cost Jiren counters. You can hold this for the Zeno. It feels really good, and the +2 helps out. Usually when I play this, I will have more than 9 cards, so that's why this Trunks actually comes into play over the Marin for me. Slash. Gotta have 1 Slash. Pilaf Flu. This is the real problem. This is the real problem right there. 3 Gallic Guns. Early game, you can use it aggressively or passively. And then 3 Saviors of the World. No explanation there. It is a 0 cost 15k for either protection or aggressions. Another super combo for us. And yeah, that is the deck list right there. Wouldn't say it is perfect. I have seen the light. I do think that if you play it right, the non-CU package is a lot more consistent. The only way this works is if you see Pan. That's at the end of the day what it comes down to. If you find Pan in the first turn, which happens to be harder than you expect with a 57 card deck, then you can get this ball rolling, but sometimes you don't see it, and it's just a tough time. And then drawing these cards, it feels so dead. It feels so dead. Maybe not this card or this card, because you could use the combo, But you don't really want to combo these. There's no recyclable, healthy way, energy-wise way, other than Goku Black to get this back. So I always want to keep one in hand because it just makes it so these guys can be in the drop and it doesn't feel too bad. And then see you. This deck doesn't really revolve around the double strike. It is just the easiest win con, though. If they do go down to 2, that is your easiest win con. You do grind out a little bit longer if you want to go for the 1 life win, essentially. And I don't have the patience to be playing that long of a game. That's why I didn't do Angel Coup for the regionals or the worlds, because I just still want to do the mirror. You've seen the mirror. But at the end of the day, went 6-1 with this deck. 14th overall. So we did get the top 16 prize, which is the Vegito, which I don't have on me on hand right now. I can't bother grabbing it. Got the cereal, the Kid Buu, and whatnot. My only loss was to Merge Zamasu. In that matchup, you definitely want the first initial turn. Having the energy marker and spending it is, it feels bad. It feels bad. You're just 1 energy behind after that. Which, of course, every single bit of energy in this deck is just very, very important. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next video as always. Until then, peace.